Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Monae Everett, celebrity and editorial hairstylist. This is your bonus session for how to get hired at Fashion Week. In this bonus session, we are going to answer any questions that you may have had from the last session. We're going to go through the templates. I'm going to spill a little bit more tea, give a little bit more information than I gave last week. When I was thinking about last week's lesson, I was like, oh, I think there might be a couple more things that I could have added. So in order for you to really get the most out of it, you should be on Zoom with me, and you are able to access the Zoom by, if you register for how to get hired at Fashion Week. You should have received an email. You should also be in my private group, the Monae Life Society, where I post tons of gig referrals. I also post opportunities. There's tons of community. I want to make sure that if you invest in me and you invest in one of my classes, that you're finding jobs and getting paid. Every single day we post jobs in the group. Not a day goes by. I have an assistant who is pretty much that is their focus. Yes, making sure to get you guys jobs. I don't even take a percentage of those jobs because I just want you guys to be successful. So hairstylists, makeup artists, clothing stylists, wardrobe stylists, nail technicians, this is the place that you need to be. So one thing that I thought about last week when we were going through the workbook, and hopefully all of you have your workbooks out, is the 39-page workbook full of where to go for inspiration, how to contact people, templates, how to know what to send them. All of that other good stuff is in your 39-page workbook, and it's available in your student portal. Does everybody here on Zoom have their workbook out? In a place where you can type into it or copy and paste from it? And does everybody have their email open? We are setting up your pitches tonight. There will be no, I didn't know how to pitch. We doing it. It's happening. Okay, chat. Zoom, I'm looking at you. What, are y'all ready? Pull out your workbooks. So you want to go to your student portal. Janelle will drop that link in the chat, and you want to download your workbook. Guys, if you invested in this class, you certainly don't want to be just here looking at me, okay? Well, Instagram, we got to go. We got stuff to do. I'm gonna give y'all just 1 second. I know Janelle was on here telling y'all to get that workbook ready. The lighting has me looking a little cooler than I want to. Okay, I see Jessica and Ashley have theirs. Chicky, I hope you're able to find your workbook. So I don't want to spend a lot of time waiting for people. So I'm going to go right into something else that needs to be covered. So one thing that, So one thing that a lot of people tell me they struggle with is inspiration. So before they are ever even able to start pitching themselves, you want to start doing photo shoots, you want to do test shoots, you want to start taking great images of your work. And what I hear people say is they have no idea where to start for a photo shoot or how to present themselves. So throughout this course, I've given you guys a lot of cheats, a lot of different places like magazines and websites. There's an entire page dedicated to that in your workbook, and we went over that in first session. I'm going to give you a cheat, another cheat. Pantone color of the year. So I need to know who iPhone is. Please put your iPhone, please put your name in the chat so that we don't have to remove you. Okay, so Pantone color of the year. This is big news.
Then it's in your account.
This is big news every single year, the Pantone color of the year. This is what designers, makeup artists, everywhere you go, where they go to choose colors that are going to be in for the following season. It's a website. It's open to every single person to go to this website and to see what the colors of the year are, okay? Berry Perry is the 2022 color of the year. So when you're doing your photo shoots, when you're doing your backgrounds, when you're making wigs, when you're coloring people's hair, you want to include Berry Perry in that. And then there's going to be more colors for 2023, so on and so on. It's really interesting that there was really only one color of the year in 2022. Now, when you start getting fancy, you might want to make Berry Perry included in your photo shoots, but then you might want to start getting fancy and choosing complementary colors. That means colors that go very well with them. So these are the past colors of the year. 2021 was Ultimate Gray, which was interesting because we were in the house, and this form of yellow. And my whole bedroom is decorated with those colors. So I was happy that I was actually on. A lot of years they only choose one color, but these two colors were so complementary that those were the two colors of the year for 2021. You just seem really on trend when you incorporate the colors. Think about makeup artists. Think about doing a model's makeup and incorporating this on the lip, or shadows of this on the eye, or maybe instead of a regular smoky eye, incorporating this. It signals to the powers that be that you are on trend and you know what's going on. So please make note, Pantone color of the year. This is what the entire industry really follows. And I want to make sure I explain to you what complementary colors are. So I'll show you colors. So if you are a hairstylist or a makeup artist, you really should understand the color wheel. The color wheel is a really large part of what we do. This is why when you are a makeup artist or a hairstylist, your colors should look better, okay? Because you understand complementary. So Berry Perry, hopefully I can make that bigger. They won't let me. Berry Perry. So as you come in, please mute yourself. So Berry Perry. As you come in, please mute yourself. So Berry Perry, the Pantone color of the year for 2022, well, just a reminder, is a purple color. So that purple looks like it falls pretty much under violet. An opposite color is going to be, a complementary color is going to be yellow. So as you're doing photo shoots and you're creating different looks, find ways to incorporate that, even if that is through the wardrobe, if it's in your background, if it's in your makeup, if it's in the wig color, the powers that be are going to recognize that. So here's a cheat sheet right over here of complementary colors. This means no matter what, they're going to look good together. A good complementary set is blue and orange. For a while, I noticed that almost every pair of jeans that I ordered had, they were blue and they had orange thread because they're complementary. They look really good together. So other complementary colors are green and red. It means they'll always look good together. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Put a 2 in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting down with complementary colors and how we can interject it into our test photo shoots and into the model's work that we are doing. Signal to people know what you're doing, okay? Any questions about Pantone color of the year or about complementary colors, please put it in the chat, as I need everybody to stay muted for this portion of the meeting. Wonderful. So we are going to move on. I want to send a reminder to you guys in your student portal. Not only do you have access to the replay of session 1, you will have access to this replay. You also have a quiz to make sure that you understood the lesson. That's going to help you learn as well. You also have access to other information where I put links and things of that nature for you guys to be able to just find out more information on Fashion Week. Has anybody tried out the quiz as of yet? Okay, guys, make sure that you get around to it. I'm going to go straight into the actual templates, what we're here for. So Janelle, what page is are the templates on the pitches? So once again, the Pantone color of the year, that is what the entire industry bases the colors off of, the in-season colors. We know every year the seasons change. I mean, the colors change. So the Pantone color of the year is going to change every single year. And that is a way to cheat and have inspiration within your book, your photo shoots, your clients, and things of that nature. So on page 26 is your template. So you want to open that up. I am going to go, you're welcome. I'm going to go straight into if I were pitching a client. So you can use these pitches for if you're pitching a designer, if you're pitching a PR brand, a PR company, anything like that. What I want you to do, I want you to have one screen open with your workbook and your email open. Okay, we're making your pitch right now. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is exactly what I would do in my email. Designer names, because we're just going to make up something. Designer, Louis Vuitton. Okay. Y'all got your stuff open. Put a 3 in the chat if you have everything open and you're ready to get going. Come on, I see you, Jessica and Kim. Y'all better get the most you can out of this session. Okay, come on, Ashley, I see you. So if I were sending a pitch. So a pitch is defined as what you send to someone who is iPhone. I've asked 3 times for you to put your name. If your name is not here, I'm going to remove you. Going once, going twice. Okay, Sharice, I was like, don't make me have to put nobody out now. So anytime you come into any of my courses, I do require you to have your name. So Janelle can help you with that. Sharice, if you signed up yesterday, we entered you into the class. All you need to do is click the link above to sign up. So I'm wondering if you saw the class. That's okay, so click that above. Janelle is going to slide in to help you to make sure that you're on track and in the right place. So Janelle, start messaging her separately, please, because we want to make sure that she is caught up and has access. So if I am pitching a designer, once again, a pitch is what you send to people in order to get hired. A pitch can be for a project. A pitch can be for them to hire you for something. Pitch is an umbrella term that means pick me, hire me, work with me, allow me to volunteer with you. I'm pitching myself to someone so that they can see the benefit of working with me. Give me a 4 if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the template that I gave you in your class for a designer. So I am pretending that I am pitching Louis Vuitton because I want to work with them, okay? I want to do a photo shoot with them. So Louis Vuitton is not major Louis Vuitton. He is a local designer that I'm trying to get up with, okay? But in order for me to show you this, I needed to be somebody we can Google. So in order to pitch him, I'm going to say, hi, Mr. Vuitton. I'm a huge fan of, we're going to find a collection that he's put out. So if they are a smaller designer, because at this point we're pitching designers in general to work with us, we haven't even gotten to Fashion Week yet. Okay. Please mute yourself. So at this point, we are going to find a collection or any work or anything of theirs that we see that we like, okay? So here's the name. We're going to say the name of his collection. Oh, it won't even let me go down. Art of Living is going to be the name of this collection. And we love it. So we're going to say we love your Art of Living campaign. Do you guys see my cursor up here in the URL? Give me a 5 if you see my cursor in the URL. Awesome. I'm clicking on that. I'm going to copy that URL. I'm saying, hey, Mr. Vuitton, I'm a huge fan of the Art of Living collection. I'm highlighting it. Do you see down here? It's a hyperlink. Most of you should understand what that is by now, but some of you don't. So it's right here. You see it's lit up. Give me a 6 if you see that, because you're going to be doing a lot of hyperlinking. It's important for you to understand where the hyperlink is. A hyperlink allows people to click on what you're talking about. They work sometimes 2 or 3 collections ahead. We never want to just assume anyone knows what we're talking about. So I clicked on insert link. and I put Command V to paste it. If you are not tech savvy, I highly recommend you take real notes on this, not assuming you're going to just remember, okay? So I put Command V to paste it in there, and then I hit test this link to make sure it is the right link. So it's going right to the page I want him to go to. Okay. So now a hyperlink is in there. You say your name goes right here, and then we're going to hyperlink it to your website or your Instagram, whichever one you're most comfortable with. I'm Monae Everett, but don't misspell your name like I tend to do whenever I write it. Your title, a hairstylist based in your city is, my city is Brooklyn. Okay, and fashion is my passion. So since I put a title here, I have to make sure it's a comma before and after. I know a lot of people feel like I'm a makeup artist, I'm a hairstylist, I don't have to understand grammar or things of that nature, but you really do. If you're pitching yourself, people find any way possible to count you out, okay? I am going to hyperlink my website. And I'm testing this link, okay? Because I always want to test the link to make sure I sent them to the right place. Okay, yes, this is my actual website. Can you guys see when I do the pop-up, when I test the link? Give me a 1 if you can see my website right now. Only Jennifer can see my website. No one else can see it. Okay, guys, it is so important to me to make sure that you're taking in what I'm showing. So you can't see my website now, Jessica, you're saying? Are you on a phone or are you on a computer? Can you see the website now? I suppose I'm on a laptop. I can't see the pop-up either. Y'all don't see pictures of my work? Okay, not sure what that's, because most of you can. So I'm hitting okay because I know that this website is right. I only see your URL. Okay, because I closed it. Okay, so that might be a Zoom thing. You know what? This is what I'll do. So guys, always let me know if you can't see something because there might be a way I need to work around it, like I'm about to. Let's see if I'm able to do this. No, won't let me do that. Okay, so when you click that link, the link is right. So you'll just look at it to see it, and you can make sure that that link is right, okay? On the replay, you will be able to see it. So, and then you always want to give them something about how you love fashion because they love fashion. Same as okay, I see what y'all are saying. So now we're going to start talking about the work that we have done that will we think is most impressive. What is the work that you've done is most impressive? Is it magazine shoots? Is it a notable person? Is it an event or a show? Most of you, give me a 1 in the chat if you have a website and give me a 2 in the chat if you do not. It's important for me to know because that is going to help me determine how I give examples. So I am going to show you 2 ways to share links. Why they always want to make everything so difficult? Sheesh. Okay, so, my goodness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two ways to get their attention. Okay. Please. I'm taking my time and doing this slowly with you guys because this is the point that a lot of people mess up on, the pitching. So they are not able to get the work that they desire. So bear with me. I know it's not, high flying kicks, but this is what we want to do. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, do I want to talk about magazines, a notable person, or TV shows? So I'm going to go with notable people. Okay, so I've styled here for PTA presidents, church pastors, fashion designers, models, popular cheerleaders, da 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 da. There are very few people who everybody knows their name. So what we do is we write their names and then we link it. Okay, so for Mahila, I am going to go to Instagram, my Instagram, and talk about her, okay? And use that link. I want to always send them to something that I have done, something that I control. I'm sending them to my website, my social media, my blogs, okay? So this was for this ended up in nylon, okay? I'm not going to make the mistake and send them to nylon because that takes them away from me. I'm gonna copy the link, okay? So I went to the top 3 dots on Instagram and I'm hitting copy link. And I'm going to hyperlink that in. The same hyperlink that I do every time. Hitting this hyperlink down here. I'm gonna choose another notable person from my website. Now, here's a thing to do when you have a website. Make sure that you have a website that you can do this on. So let's say, well, not Yarshi because she's right at the beginning. Let's say India Moore. Oh, now my website. I am going to, oh, that's funny. Actually, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do it in the video. Oh, I think they updated my website. It used to be that I could go to my website and when I slid it across, the URL would change. Can't do that anymore, but that's okay. So you're still going to copy and paste it. And who was that? Saniqua Martin Green. Saniqua. You're going to put their full name, of course. And sometimes I'll say what they're of. So I'll say Mahala Harold of Industry on HBO. Because even if they don't know that that show, they know it's on HBO. So I'll say Industry, Mahila Harold, leading lady on Industry on HBO. Saniqua, leading lady on Discovery Star Trek. And I always look up my punctuation because I never remember what it is. But when I'm not sure, quotes tend to work. Once you have all of this figured out, how to hyperlink and all that, once you have your template ready, you can use the same thing over and over again. The only thing that changes is you might decide that they're interested in different people, so you use different notables. If it is a Latin designer, for example, I'm going to go to everybody Latin in my book. If it's a designer who is showing at a runway show for the first time, I'm going to put something like this, a runway show, showing them working with me backstage. If it is a designer who is having their work shown at a fashion shoot, I am going to copy the link, send them to my Instagram. I am always going to recommend that you send people to your website, not your Instagram. Okay. And Amanda Warren of, I forgot the name of her show. It's really popular. Every time I'm putting something, I am hyperlinking because I cannot assume that they know who I'm talking about, okay? Removing these. And then my ask. So after I've told them, I've complimented them, I have told them who I am. I've told them what I do. So I've greeted them. I've complimented them. I've told them who I am. I've told them what I do. I've told them where I'm based. And I've given some form of, this is what we have in common. I did all of that in 2 sentences, okay? Now I've told them a little bit about me. This is the type of clientele I have. These are multiple examples of my amazing work. You may not be working with the top tier of everybody. I don't care if it's the president of Piggly Wiggly. I don't care if it is somebody who won Mrs. School Talent Show, if it's a singer that put out a mixtape, it doesn't matter. Hold yourself in high regard, and by you using a proper template, they're going to take you more seriously. All of this we did before we get to the ask, okay? I'd love to work with you on your upcoming lookbooks and photo shoots as a hairstylist or a makeup artist. I bill myself as a hairstylist, so I'm gonna put as a hairstylist. Please add me to your list of artists. I invite you to review my work here. So once again, I highly recommend you sending them to a website. If you don't have a website, you got to send them to your Instagram, okay? Whenever you tell people about your Instagram, you always give them a link. Do not put the @ in this. Don't do it, okay? The reason you don't do that is because why should they have to copy and paste and go to a whole other link when you can put it here and click to open it? Why does it say my page is not open? It just wants to embarrass me, huh? What did I spell wrong? Oh, because I misspelled it. So when you misspell it, just go to change. This is why we always test it first, but I have to do it another way so you guys can see it. Get that? You see why we want to always link to make it really, really simple. So right now, my focus has been a bit more on classes. I'm going to give you a hint about your Instagram. If you want to work in fashion, if you want to work in beauty, make sure that the main thing that they see are pictures of your work and not you. So as a tip, you're going to come back and you're not going to see as many class things on my Instagram because I need my top 9 images, because on the phone you can get 9 images on your page to be focused on the type of work that I do. Does that make sense? Hopefully they'll let me do it here because I want to show you something that they let you do now. No. Now, when you don't like your reel, you can go back and change the cover. So just a side note to that. If your top 9 images are not looking how you want, you can go back and you can change the cover. Give me a 1 if I'm making sense to you right now. Okay, because we're still not done with this template. We're still not done with this template, okay? Because we need to make sure our template is right. We're going to give a salutation. We're going to make sure to give all of our information. There is no, oh, I emailed them, they have my email. They do not, okay? My name, my phone number, what I do, my email, another link to my website, another link to my website. I'm gonna say it again, another link to my website. This is something I think they should know, so there's a link, okay? But most importantly for you guys, the comp cards, okay? I do not want you to get intimidated and say, I don't have that type of work. It doesn't matter, I didn't always have it. Your best versions of your work, it needs to be at least 1 image. It does not have to be 4, it needs to be at least 1 image that you feel is amazing, not an image of yourself, okay? 1 image of your work that you feel is amazing. This is my way of ramming who I am to them without them having to go look for it, because they don't always do their research. Overwhelmingly, they're not going to research you, okay? My comp pad has my favorite images, the celebs I think they care about, the other work I've done I think they care about, my Instagram and YouTube because that's popular. Once again, it has my email and my phone number, because on emails and really anything on the web, people can save it. They can copy and paste it, they can screenshot it, they can do whatever the heck they want to do with it. Does that make sense? So if you're gonna take my stuff, please take it and get it right. Lastly, it has all of my social media that I want them to know about, okay? YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus used to be a thing, it's not anymore, I need to get rid of that. LinkedIn and Pinterest. Anywhere you wanna find me, baby, come find me. Let me make it easy for you to come find me, okay? Here's another trick for you guys. You want to know where the real money is made? What social media site where you can get the real money? Anybody want to know? Give me a yes if you want, or no if you don't. LinkedIn. LinkedIn, LinkedIn, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you want to go. I'm hesitant to do this on the class because I don't really want to show people's personal information, but make a presence with your LinkedIn. That template can be your bio. So, okay, I'll go to my own page. Let's say that you want to connect with me. As you connect with me, when you go down the right side of the page, it's going to tell you people like me and other people you should connect with. So that goes for anybody. That goes for designers. They're going to tell you more designers like them. They're going to tell you more makeup artists. They're going to tell you more producers. Remember, directors, all of those people, those are the people that we talked about can hire you. Over time, increase your LinkedIn with more and more details about yourself, okay? Put your education up there, because I can click on George Mason University, the school that I went to, and see other people connected with the school. You see what I'm saying? Learn decision make. This is how you find decision makers. These people are not, for the most part, on here sharing what they ate and their dog and you know, stuff like that. For the most part, they are on here sharing work stuff, work aspirations, work needs, work requirements. Somebody we all know and love, Kevin James Bennett. Let's see what's going on with him, if they'll let me. We're going to go to his page. Let's see what's going on with Kevin. He's telling us all these great stuff about himself, as he absolutely should. These are people that they feel are similar to Kevin James Bennett. People also viewed these people when they were looking for Kevin James Bennett. Then they say, all right, we know you know people, but maybe you know these people. You know any of these people? Then you send them connections. Am I making sense to you guys? Give me a 1 if I'm making sense. I cannot stay in detail on LinkedIn because it's not ethical for me to go through people's personal information if they're not a part of this class. So I hope that you understand the importance of that. I hope you understand the importance of getting your template written out. So it took us 30, 45 minutes to do it now, but this is something that we're always going to have ready. Now we're going to make a slight change to this template for if we wanted to work on the Louis Vuitton show. Okay, we're sending it to a designer who's having a show. The slight change we would make on here is we would say, I would love to work as an artist on your upcoming runway show. I would love to work as a hairstylist on your upcoming show. I would love to work with you. Yes, so we're going to move that. Or we might say, congratulations on your first showing at Tupelo Fashion Week. Because everybody's not at New York Fashion Week. They're somewhere else, but they are proud of where they are, as they should be. And you know what I just said in that one little sentence? I just said to them, I'm up on you, and I know that this is a big deal. Congratulations to you. You'd be like, people who are making big moves, they need support too. A lot of people making big moves, just like you guys have told me, you don't have people to support you. A lot of times they don't have people to support them. That's going to make you stand out, okay? We're gonna make another adjustment to this. You see how we're using the meat of the same template? Now we are trying to assist someone. So we're gonna write to Monae Everett. And we're gonna call her Miss Everett because she is not married. MRS period is for someone that's married. MS is if you don't know, and MISS is a little girl, okay? So hi, Miss Everett. I'm a huge fan of, well, we're gonna assume that collection is right. I am Elizabeth. Give me a 2 if you're able to follow what I'm doing. I am Elizabeth, a hairstylist based in Brooklyn, New York. I have been preparing to work at Fashion Week because you want to be on my Fashion Week team. I have been preparing to work at Fashion Week for 5 years. So I'm going to assume that's your experience. So I'm saying make it something a little more flowery, like you're really excited, you want to work at Fashion Week. Same template. Here are your notables, okay? I would love to work as a hairstylist on your team this upcoming season. please let me know if you have any upcoming any openings. Please let me know if you have any openings. But you're speaking to somebody in the industry, so we're going to add a little bit more up here. So you're saying I've been preparing to work at Fashion for 5 years. I am known for being a great team player. Please, Jesus, don't write this if you're not a great team player. Taylor, being a great team player, quickly creating updos, and being able to style all hair textures. If this is for makeup and you're a makeup artist, I've been a makeup artist for 10 years. Sanitation is my passion. I am known for recreating lips and choosing amazing complementary colors. You see, because this is somebody who understands your craft. Give me a 5 if you get what I'm saying. How you need to be a little more detailed if you're working with someone who understands your craft, okay? Yes. So the details stay the same about the people you've worked with, unless you can give me something about Fashion Week or something that you feel we have in common. But trying to be people's friend goes left when you don't know people. So keep it professional. So not to be a bitch, but I'm going to tell you, most people you don't know, you're not their friends. Please refer to them properly until they ask you to do so otherwise. It just can put a sour taste in your mouth because you don't know, well, when I work with you, are you going to think you know everything and you don't need to listen to me? Do you think we are at the same level and you should be doing my job? This is a part that people don't want to tell you, but I'm going to tell you a lot of key artists complain about this, and it's just not an easy thing to tackle, okay? We're going to sign off with what you want from them. Why are you bothering them? Please let me know if you have any openings. I invite you to review my work here, okay? Sometimes you might even add something like, no, I wouldn't add anything. I would follow up with all of these people probably 2 or 3 weeks later, okay? Because you got to give people a chance to get back to you. Just because you see them on Instagram or anything does not mean that's the best time to hit them. Speaking of Instagram, if you, oh my God, I've said weird that whole time. If you don't know how to reach them, but they are on Instagram, just jump in their DMs and say, hey, I'm such and such. I would love to work with you. What is the best email to reach you? It's really, really, really important that you stay at the highest level of professionalism up until they tell you to bring it down. They might tell you DM me. They might tell you stay in their DMs. They might tell you give me a call real quick. They might tell you, oh, just call me Peter. You don't know these people. You don't do that until they okay it. All right, so do you guys have your templates out? Can I see someone else's template? At this point, I am going to open for questions, and your question can be to show me your template to review. If you come on, you will be a part of the recording. Does anyone have any questions about anything we've gone over? No questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask about Fashion Week at all? The Fashion Week course, or does anyone want me to review their template? Yeah, so I would definitely follow up with another email if I don't hear back from them, say in about 2 to 3 weeks. It's a thin line between stalking them, like being too aggressive, because I'm going to tell you, when it comes to key artists, many times, like me, I can be very busy, but some of my work I'm not able to bring an assistant. Or maybe I am on hold to key this show, but they don't confirm me to key the show until a week before the show or 3 days before the show. So I can't tell you, okay, yes, I'd love to bring you on the show until it's confirmed. And then I'm calling you at the last minute. So it's good to stay at the top of people's head. It's kind of played out to always be laughing at their posts and always commenting on their posts. I know someone else teaches to basically be pretend you're friends with them so that you can be top of the mind. That generally doesn't work out. And when they find out that this was your reason for always being in their comments and trying to be friendly with them, when they find that out, they're less likely to ever hire you again. If I don't have Fashion Week experience or celebrity accolades yet, what are some good examples of work to link to? That is an awesome question, Stacy. So if you have done a popular local talent show, if you've done hair or makeup for that, if you've done a local singer, a model, a photo shoot, a politician, a popular pastor, if you have done popular business person, a popular dancer. Popular is in the eye of the beholder. Like if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, somebody with 10,000 followers might be popular. There are all these little online reality shows. You can mention those people and then link to the show or your work from the show. Everybody doesn't expect you to have done A-list people. They expect some version of your work to show that you do work outside of the counter and outside of the salon, okay? Does that make sense? Give me a 3 in the chat if that makes sense. Okay. What would you consider preparing for Fashion Week in regard to what we're putting in our templates? Examples, someone who specializes in bridal, but very little show print work. Should we note our time management skills, ability to work with all the skin tones, or work well under pressure? Those are absolutely, unequivocally things that you should put. You should put that you are able to work in high stress environments. You should put that you're very timely, especially a makeup artist. Quite clearly, I am able to do makeup for all skin tones, full cap. You should make sure your example, oh, that's another thing to say in your notables. I would show 3 different examples. I would show a white girl, an Asian girl, a black girl. When I send my hair examples, I show short hair, long hair, white girl, Latin girl, Asian girl, because I need to be a little blunt to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. If you don't have that variety in race, then you want to show variety in hairstyle. People cannot imagine anything you don't send them. They absolutely cannot. You are the makeup artist or the hairstylist. You have imagination, they can't. If they want to hire you for a show and every single model is going to have an upsweep, if you don't have any upsweeps in your book, they might quite simply say, oh, I don't know if she can do upsweeps. If they are going to have every single model have a smoky eye, you don't have a smoky eye in your book, they're going to assume you don't know how to do it. I understand all of you don't have a website which will display your portfolio. Start creating some of these looks on your Instagram. If you are hard pressed and ain't got nobody else, which I don't believe, then you can put it on yourself, but you really find somebody to let you do their hair and makeup. Find a client in the salon that always get their hair in a certain way, ask them to do something else. You got to start somewhere. And I go into extreme detail of this in the Celeb Gigs Academy, how to create your own influencer day, how to create your own photo shoots in your counters or at your salon without a photographer, then how to work with photographers to get the imagery that you use, all the way up to how to leverage and how to make money on top of photo shoots. Like, for example, how to get hired for a photo shoot that only pays $150, but how to sell it to a brand for $3,000. These are all things that I teach in extreme detail on Celeb Gigs Academy. And I think I gave you guys a gift link for that. Janelle, if you remember it, please put it in the chat. I think I gave you guys a $100 discount. Okay, are there any other questions for me about Fashion Week? Any other questions about Fashion Week? Fashion Week is about 6 weeks from now, okay? So tonight you were supposed to work on your template so you have something directly ready to copy and paste and send out. Stacy said yes, so I think that means she's writing another question. Danielle Chicky, Jennifer, Sharisa, Jessica, Diane, Kim Clark, Ashley. Come on, ladies. I want to make sure that you have all of your questions answered before we disconnect. Yeah, it's crazy. No one will, their level of understanding for what we do is almost non-existent. No one is going to look at you and say, oh, great. You know, you did a girl with straight hair to, you know, mid-level. They're not going to say, oh, do you think you can do somebody with 30 inches of hair? They have to see it. This is why your portfolio is a living, breathing thing that is never, ever complete. Like, I'm about to work on my portfolio tonight because I have some newer images. For the red carpet tonight, I did an upsweep on natural hair. I don't have that in my book, so I got to show that. To piggyback off of Stacy's question, are we compensated for travel if we are coming from out of state? Generally not. So what it's called is working as a local, which means, it means like, hey, I'm doing this show and I'm hiring locals. That's the same thing as working as a local, which means you're responsible for all of your own transportation. However, I did work for a brand last year, and this is the first time I ever saw this. They picked their people from all over the country and they flew them in. It is almost absolutely unheard of, but due to the social uprising and so many disparities being pointed out, I do see a lot of changes happening in the fashion and beauty industry. What are a few hairstyles you recommend for nailing for Fashion Week? Y'all are not going to believe this when I tell you where most hairstylists melt down. Anything with a center part. I have seen hairstylists melt down and cry because it's really hard to get not just the center part, but a center part that is perfectly centered in the mirror, because the white runway reflects onto the scalp, and if there's a slight bend, everybody gonna see it. So something like that, and a ponytail with no bunches or gathering. Okay. So other things, how to do on base and off base curls, how to create perfectly straight hair is, just people really struggle. Like, this is a great example. This side of my hair is fine with laying straight. This side just want to keep jumping up and doing what it want to do. It can't photo like that. Cannot go down a runway like that. It needs to be completely photographically the same. So you would work on your products, realizing what products and tools allow you to create this look, how to get that perfect part, whether that means parting and putting mousse down the center and parting because you would never ever ever in a million years use a edge tamer to part that hair, as I see in a lot of these very interesting social media videos. That stuff would be running all down their face, into their makeup, onto the clothes. We don't, not never. I don't think I have ever, never, not ever seen edge tamer used, especially in abundance on a runway show or a photo shoot. Yes, I have issues with edge tamer. How will we make it clear to a designer or key artist that travel isn't an issue for us, even if we aren't being paid for our travel expenses? Literally say that. I wouldn't start off with, hey, such and such, pimp me out, send me across the country for free. Wouldn't start off like that. I would start off by saying, I'm very interested, and maybe you would say, if it's a New York show, I'm often in New York. If it's an Atlanta show, I'm often in Atlanta. I think that implies it, okay? What's the next question? Yes, y'all keep those questions coming, because as soon as the question stops, we're gonna end, and I want you guys to be like, you got the most out of this course. So yeah, Ashley, I would definitely do that. I would say I'm often in this area. I'm in New York quite a bit, or tell them a little gray lie. I plan to be in New York for Fashion Week. I plan to be in Atlanta for this major event or for this Fashion Week. I'm already booked to be in LA at that time, okay? When you receive a response from a pitch, when and how is a good time to ask if the show is compensated? So you receive a response from the pitch. They say, yes, great, we'd love to have you work on this photo shoot, or we'd love to have you for this show. Awesome. I'm really excited too. I just need a few more details. Can you let me know? Do you have the time, the location, the rate, and are there any specific things I need to have in my kit? You see how that was just asked straight out? Most of the time, people know that Fashion Week has a bad reputation for not paying. I have yet to have somebody who was paying for a Fashion Week show not say that right from the beginning. Hey, Monae, are you interested in doing this show? It's going to be $500 for compensation. Hey, Monae, are you interested in doing this show this day and time? We only have $150 for compensation. Does this work for you? That's another way you know you're dealing with professionals. So when they're trying to shuck and I don't know, and maybe we should pay you, it's about to be some bullshit, but maybe you can get some great images or some great products or something like that. And so you're getting hired. Hired implies you were compensated. Compensation is not always money. Sometimes it might be you get $500 worth of product. So you want to make sure you're always compensated. Does that make sense? If we happen to think of questions later, are you an open resource? If so, how do you prefer to be contacted? So you guys should all be in that private group, How to Get Hired at Fashion Week, because I decided I want you guys to have the opportunities for Fashion Week shows before anybody else, even the Monae Life Society. So you can always post your questions in there if you want a larger resource, or if you want more people to be able to answer, you can always post your questions in the Monae Life Society. So you both should be in two groups of mine. You should be on Facebook. Excuse me, you should be in the Monae Life Society, and you should be in the Monae Life Academy Fashion Week, okay? It's really, really important that you're in those groups. My DMs are not an open space to ask questions. If you have any problems with any of your classwork or with accessing anything, the way to reach me is admin at the Monae Life, because myself or Janelle can get back to you normally pretty quickly. If you have questions about what you've learned, go to the groups. We're always there as well. But if you follow the proper ways to reach me, I can make sure that I get back to you the quickest. So just roll them up for me. Let me know where you guys are, because Janelle is here as well. So we want to make sure that we're really focusing on classes and jobs where my most active members of the group are. Has anyone joined the Monae Life Society and seen all those job postings? Oh, that's a great question, Jessica. My digital comp card, where did I create it? You can create that in Canva, which is free. iPicky.com, IPICCY.com is like open source Photoshop. I'm gonna write that in for you guys to see it. And I love iPicky.com. I haven't used that in a while, but oh my God, that used to save my life, iPicky.com. For if I had to edit something or put something together. And honestly, there's a lot of apps on your phone now that you can just put things together, add a little text and add a few images. So I think it's 5.5 by 8.5 used to be industry standard. Mine are just 4 by 6 or 6 by 9. The industry standards are changing so much that like it's just not that big of a deal anymore. So I hope you noticed in my templates, I was finding a way to sneak in a lot of information and make it still look short. Artists can be chosen by the key artist and the designer. Generally, the designer or the PR company chooses the key artist, and the key artist chooses the rest of the team. However, the smaller the market, the more likely people are to do multiple things. And a designer can easily say, hey, I met this young lady or young man, please add them to your hair team or your makeup team. A key stylist might reach out to so many people like, hey, I need 10 artists in the next 48 hours. And they're happy to take suggestions from whomever. And a designer is a great person to take suggestions from because they are the boss. Okay, guys, so I want to sincerely thank you all for coming. If you'd like to say what you thought of the class, I would definitely appreciate that. Feel free to turn your camera on and unmute yourself. If you want to just write it in the chat, that would be great. As you guys see, I do a ton of shout outs if you guys ever have anything that you want to say about the course. And you know, that's free promo. Get that free promo in. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. It is my absolute pleasure to help you. I am thankful for you guys coming and allowing me to sew into you. I look forward to doing more sewing into you. And thank you for your patience tonight. Thank you so much for your time and graciously sharing your knowledge and secrets with us. You're very welcome. It is my pleasure. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for taking the time to walk us through the pitch. No problem. I hope that my walking through the pitch didn't drag out too much, but ladies and gentlemen, that is the most important part. That is what makes you stand apart, okay? Yes, that's awesome. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy you asked about that. There is what should be and there is what is. You do not have to be licensed to work on photo shoot sets. Do I think you should be? Yes, okay, but you do not have to be. You have to be licensed to be in the union, which is TV and film. And remember, we talked about this falls under the print industry. You do not have to have a cosmetology license to work in the print industry. A cosmetology license for hairstylists is for if you are cutting hair and doing chemicals. You tend to not cut or do chemicals when you are working on shows or photo shoots. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you have any issues, problems, concerns, or compliments, please reach out to admin@themonalife.com.